It was one of those evenings that make you remember exactly why you moved out to the sticks in the first place. You know, warm Texas air, humming with cicadas, the scent of fresh engine oil clinging to my hands, and the ticking sound of a '98 Road King cooling off beside my garage like it was catching its breath right along with me. I just popped the cap off. A cold shiner settled into this battered lawn chair I keep on the porch when I spotted a silhouette striding across the front gate, tall, stiff-backed, moving like she owned the whole damn horizon. And right behind her, there he was, her pet secretary dragging a tablet like it held some ancient law. That was Karen Lell, president of the Maple Grove Estates HOA, self-declared high priestess of aesthetics and order, or as I like to call her, the tyrant of cul-de-sacs. My first run-in with Karen was a couple years back when she tried to bully me into tearing down my fence for clashing with the community vibe. We ended up in court. I won. She never forgave me, and trust me, I didn't forget her either. So here she came, marching up the drive like I was just renting space on her fiefdom. No knock, no hello, just all business. Mr. Rowan, she started her voice tight as a guitar string as a property owner adjacent to Maple Grove Estates. You are now subject to community proximity dues, $25 monthly effective immediately. You benefit from our community's value, and we voted to implement compensation. I just blinked, took a sip of my beer. Come again. Her assistant spun the tablet toward me, flashing a shiny PDF about aesthetic spillover jurisdiction. No signature from me, obviously. I stared at them, then said, Karen, I don't use your parks. I don't walk your streets. I sure as hell didn't vote in your HOA. My land was here before your first brick. She tried to stiffen up, rattling off something about legal precedents and case law, her assistant looking like he was regretting life choices. I stood up slow, not threatening, just letting them know I wasn't budging. Let me be clear, I told them I'm not paying a dime to your pastel prison camp. Set foot on my land again, and it won't be words we're exchanging. Karen's eyes narrowed cold as hell. She turned on her heel, and just before stepping off my place, she called back, You'll regret this. We'll be in touch. I just hollered, Use the front gate next time. Wouldn't want your BMW to get scratched by all this freedom. Yeah, that happened. Next morning, sun wasn't even up, and I was elbow deep in a carburetor when I heard tires crunching on the gravel, slow and heavy. I wiped my hands and stepped out to see a big black SUV, windows blacked out, stopping 10 feet from my porch. Two guys climbed out built like vending machines, matching black polos stamped with Maple Grove Enforcement Division. The tall one barked, Jackson Rowan. We're here on behalf of Maple Grove to collect outstanding fees and issue a claim against your property. I had my phone rolling video already. You're trespassing, I said flat as I could manage. 10 seconds to get off my property. The second guy, younger and twitchy, waved some folder around. You owe under HOA enforcement statute, I cut him off. There is no statute. I'm not in your HOA. I didn't sign your cult contract. This is my land. That's when the tall one poked me in the chest. You don't want this to escalate. I grinned. Oh, I do. He swung. Big mistake. I ducked, drove my elbow into his jaw, heard that satisfying crack, then dropped his buddy to the gravel with a knee to the leg. Both of them were down, my phone still rolling, and I said loud for the camera, This is a recorded armed intrusion onto private property. You've threatened me with force. I called the sheriff. Turns out someone G-Wonder who had already reported a disturbance at my address. Sheriff's deputies showed up, cuffed the muscleheads, asked me a few questions, took my video. The SUV had no plates, no registration. As they hauled those goons off, I sat on the porch and finished that warm beer from last night, feeling the storm brewing. Karen had escalated, and I knew damn well she wouldn't back down. She'd just get sneakier. Days went by. Too quiet. Not the kind of quiet where things settle and life gets easier, but the kind that comes before the boom. Sure enough, the men she sent only got misdemeanors, trespassing, assault slaps on the wrist. Karen disappeared. No more notes, no more knocks. No more drive-bys. But trouble started coming in sideways. Suddenly I had customers at my shop asking all the wrong questions. One, a stocky guy in mirrored shades, started with talk about a rare carburetor, then kept digging about my family, my business, how many people worked for me, stuff no normal client cares about. He wasn't here for a bike. He was fishing. I played dumb, gave him nothing. Checked my security footage later. His SUV matched a vehicle seen at the Maple Grove clubhouse the week before. Coincidence, sure. A week later, one client left his bike overnight and came back at 3 a.m. to try and torch the place, caught in full color on my security cams. My fire suppression system kicked in and put it out before it could do real damage, and his face was clear as day on the video. He got arrested but clammed up and lawyered up fast. Not a random act, you know what I mean? Then came a lawsuit. A guy I'd never met claimed a bike I fixed wrecked and ruined his back, even though he'd never been my client. Total fabrication. My lawyer just grinned, counterclaimed for malicious prosecution. But Karen's real aim wasn't to win. It was to bury me in stress, time, and bills. Classic war of attrition. I'm not built to fold. I called in a favor with my buddy Todd, a cybersecurity guy I helped with a bike years ago. 3 days later, Todd sent me a link, hojusticewatch.org, a hit-piece blog with my face all over it, wild accusations, legal nonsense, old interview quotes twisted around. Traced the admin email to Karen's mother. That's when I stopped reacting and started planning. Karen thought she was clever, attacking on every front, but she forgot the golden rule: you don't fight back when someone's spread thin. You wait, then hit where it hurts. I upgraded my cameras, beefed up the cloud backups, then flipped my YouTube channel into the no HOA zone. I laid it all out in my first video: who I was, what the HOA was doing, the proof. It went viral. 20,000 views overnight, then more. Turns out there's a whole army of folks across America fighting this same HOA, garbage people fined for trash cans, sued over garden gnomes, or kicked around for having a service dog. Stories poured in. I built out playlists, brought in legal experts, even got the local news to cover my fight. That's when the real twist showed up: an email from Larry Costello, the ex-treasurer of Maple Grove Estates. We met at a diner away from HOA eyes. Larry dropped a bomb. Karen had been using HOA funds for spa days, trips, even her kids' school. When he called her out, she faked a board vote to boot him. Larry handed me a folder stacked with receipts, emails, reports, a smoking gun. My lawyer nearly did cartwheels. We added a demand for a full audit in our suit. Karen tried to block it, but the judge denied her. The court ordered an audit of 5 years of HOA finances. When the audit team showed up, panic swept the HOA. Members started reaching out anonymously, emergency meetings, whispers of missing funds. A clubhouse whiteboard warning: do not discuss finances with outsiders. Karen tried to countersue me for defamation. Our dismissal had footage of her goons threatening me. Her case vanished like morning fog. The audit results were damning: systemic misuse, unauthorized disbursements, document forgery. Tens of thousands in landscaping went to salons, hotels, private flights. The security investment was just a payment to the thugs who tried to muscle me. The crown jewel, a $31,000 executive retreat in Nantucket for Karen and her family. Local news ate it up. Board members resigned. One of them, Mitch, came by my shop to apologize, asking if I'd share my story at a town meeting. I said I'd think about it, but the hits kept coming. My lawyer subpoenaed HOA internal emails. We found a message from Karen to her assistant: have those guys swing by Rowan's. Make him feel pressure. Now we could go after her personally, not just the HOA. Turns out Karen was already sinking. Her husband had filed for separation. The house was under a second mortgage, the HOA credit line maxed, and even her attack blog had gone quiet. Courtroom days were cold and brutal. Karen looked a ghost thinner, paler, heels shuffling instead of strutting. Our case was simple: trespassing, harassment, assault, defamation, embezzlement. Larry laid out the financial crimes. Todd explained the blog was run from Karen's mom's place, and we played the footage of those enforcers trying to rough me up. The email sealed it. Jury didn't buy her act for a second. Their verdict in my favor on all counts, over $1 million in damages, plus a referral for criminal investigation. Karen's reign was done. HOA board dissolved, funds frozen, state audit triggered. The Maple Grove welcome sign came down, the neighborhood newsletters, "Stop no more patrols cruising my fence." I put up my own sign, "Private property. No HOA zone." The camera above it has a little red light. Pure intimidation theater, and it works. Folks came by to take selfies with the sign. My shop was busier than ever. Even the sheriff dropped off a six-pack to say, "Hell of a thing you did, Rowan." Karen, last I heard, sold her Lexus and moved in with her sister, waiting for federal court. HOA gone board, disbanded, every cent scrutinized by the state. But you want to know the part that sticks. One day a teenager with a guitar case showed up, said his mom quit the HOA board after the trial. He just wanted to shake my hand. You scared the hell out of them in a good way. I grinned. That's the idea, kid. Never start a fight you can't finish. And always, always record everything. He laughed, snapped a photo, and headed down the road, sun glinting off those guitar strings. And for the first time in a long time, I swear freedom looked real damn good. So here's my 2 cents. When bullies show up at your gate, you don't just push back, you make sure the whole damn country hears the story. Now you tell me, where's the line between order and control? Where does community stop and tyranny begin? Leave your thoughts below. I want to hear your side. Maybe, just maybe, it's time we all stood up for a little more freedom and a lot less HOA.